So for all those who have joined in, welcome so much for yet another edition of Surfing with Storm. But before I really jump into who we are interviewing, I'd like to start with a very small, beautiful video of the journey together. And just see in terms of how life, changes for all of us. So just before we dive in, I'm going to share this beautiful video, and then we kind of move ahead with our conversation. Yeah. So here it is. So welcome, folks. And today we have two amazing celebrities, Shahrukh and Kajol, on the call with us.
Thank you.
So I think, big fans, I just wanted to, share with the audience that this entire poetry was written by Tanveer himself and presented to Shahnaz on their anniversary on the 1st of December, when she was just feeling a little low in terms of health. And 2 weeks later is when the diagnosis comes in about having a blood with malignancy. Yeah. So this is how the journey starts. So really, we want to thank you for sharing your life in your space with us. Shahnaz, welcome to the show. And Tanveer, thank you so much for
Hello, dear.
For just holding space so beautifully for all of us. Yeah. So before we move on to the call, I want to share a small intro about Shahnaz as a teacher. I think, like when we asked her for a small write-up, she gave this beautiful passage, which I want to read out for you. And I think it just shows the essence and the intent of how beautifully they've lived the journey through the cancer, and now how they wish to kind of, serve people in multiple ways. So I'm going to read it as it is written and sent to me. Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Shahnaz Tanveer. I'm your sister from Bangladesh, a cancer survivor and a former teacher. I used to be a dedicated teacher, but life threw me a curveball when I faced a formidable opponent, cancer. Today, I stand before you not only as a survivor, but as a living proof that Almighty's will and mercy, resilience, determination with family support, love, and people's prayer can conquer even the toughest challenges. My mission now is to inspire and motivate, using my experience to empower others to face their battles head on and find the strength within themselves to overcome any obstacle. And she writes further that together we can turn adversity into an opportunity for growth and transformation. Beautiful words, Shahnaz. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So I'm sure your growing up must have been beautiful. Where did you grow up? We'd like to know a little more about who the little Shahnaz was, where she grew up, how she grew up, what kind of values she grew up with, friends, stuff. So just a quick recap of your values.
Hello, everyone. And first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to your podcast and giving me an opportunity to share my journey, actually our journey, to share with everyone. And it's really a great honor for us and for me too as well. I was born in Dhaka, and I came from a very middle class family, and I'm the youngest of three siblings. My father is a service holder, government service holder, and my childhood had been special because of my father and my mother and my siblings. And sorry, and he treated me as his business till his last day. So I actually grew up in a very loving and peaceful environment. My mom was strict, but very caring, and she knew what is best for me. So I used to spend a lot of time with my father. I used to go to the morning work with him. In the afternoon, I used to play with my neighborhood kids, and I liked playing marbles, flying kites, picking out flowers from the ground, and I have the loving elder brother and sister, and my I feel blessed to say that I have the best childhood I could ever ask for. And I learned a lot from my family. It was not full of abundance, but full of happiness, very simple and full of innocence and simplicity and love.
That's that's an absolute rarity in these days to even hear these words about love, simplicity, and and just this beautiful family. Because we see broken families, we see broken hearts, we see hurtful relationships all around, and it's just so wonderful to hear this beautiful upbringing that I think with your family that you've had. It's just amazing, and I'm sure so that helped you. And so you became a teacher, right?
Yes.
And then you were in school. So how long did you teach before life threw this curveball at you?
Sorry, can you?
How long have you been a
Okay, I got the
teacher?
question. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, I finished my schooling and college in Dhaka. Then I finished my honors and graduate master's degree in the economics department under Dhaka University. So I actually plan to pursue my career in banking. But after my master's degree, I got married to the person, my husband and my best friend. And after losing my father, it felt like I lost my whole world. And he came into my life and balanced everything with love, care, happiness, and the loving family. So I feel blessed. And unfortunately, our family, we had actually some health issues. My mother-in-law, she was diagnosed with colon cancer. And father-in-law, she was also suffering from chronic schizophrenia. So I knew and realized that my presence was required in the family. So I actually made some changes in my career plan.
She actually wanted to be a banker.
I never joining a school was not in my thought, but later I thought that no, my mother-in-law, she was the strongest woman I have ever seen, and she was independent. She also wanted me to be independent. So I wanted to serve my knowledge, values, whatever I have with me. I want to serve this through my profession. At the same time, I wanted to have time. I want to have some time to take care of the family. So I actually joined school, and believe me, I enjoyed so much there, where I was introduced with young minds, and I have the opportunity to nurture those minds and shape them up. And not only I was teaching them, I also have learned a lot of things from them, and they also motivated me so that I can work on self-improvement and everything, so that I can give them something. I can also give them something.
It's been 17 years? Yeah, it's been 17 years.
I just took 5 years break because that time I wanted to give my daughter. She is also precious. So
absolutely.
I rejoined the same organization in 2008, and I was there, served there till
She
my
was
illness.
diagnosed with the disease till
Wow.
2021.
But I believe I enjoyed that part a lot. That's a very important phase of my life.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm sure there's just so much to learn from the students all along.
There's so much to learn.
Yeah, and most importantly, how much love unconditionally that the children can
Yes.
share.
They will never disappoint you. They'll never disappoint you.
Absolutely. It's so wonderful. So how did you take in the news? Honestly, that's something that, having this beautiful life all along and stuff. How do you react or respond, or what happened when you heard the news?
The thing is that actually I was not aware actually what happened to me. I knew that I felt that something wrong was going with me, but I was not sure about it, because the cancer cell formed lymph nodes in my frontal lobe, and it was creating pressure on my brain, and that was the center actually that managed emotions, your personality, your intensity, your characteristics. So somehow I was losing intensity to understand what actually happened to me. So the MRI report, I received the MRI report. It was later I actually got to know all these things. Right. So it was 17 December 2021. He got the report, and he didn't let me. He knows me the best, so he actually knew what to do. But he didn't reveal things to me, but he was taking all the steps for my treatment. I was admitted to the hospital in Dhaka, Evercare, which was known as Apollo, the 18th December. And I just asked why I was admitted in the hospital. And he said, it will be convenient for you because you will go through some test. Okay, I was okay with that, more investigation. I was okay with that. People are coming to visit me. I was happy to see them. Right. Doctor came every day. How are you? I said, sir, I'm very fine. Now, when I think about those days, I feel so bad. I don't want to say I feel bad, but feel compassionate for that version of me who was seriously ill without knowing actually what happened to her. Okay, so by this time, actually, that was the time COVID was in its peak. So a lot of options were not actually open. So my husband and other family members, they decided to take me to Delhi, and within 10 days, 30th December, we flew to Delhi, and in the airport, the ambulance was ready for me. I directly was admitted to the hospital. A neurologist visited me, and he said that you'd have the surgery tomorrow morning. I remember I was not nervous because I said that I lost that somehow intensity, but I said it's okay. Tomorrow's surgery. So uh, I had my dinner in the hospital cabin and prepared myself ready for the next day. I was even waving my hands when I was taken to the OT room. I was looking all the machineries, and I was thinking that after some next moment I'd be I'd lose my sense because they are going for the surgery. So after it was done and the cyst or the lymph node was removed, I realized actually what was happening to me. Then I knew it was something serious. It was not definitely something easy. I waited for the biopsy report now. I knew that it could be anything. It could be anything. It could change my life. It could change a lot of things.
Right.
So I was actually waiting for the biopsy report. And it took some time, days for the report. And I was with my husband and my brother-in-law, Sonor, and amazing support that time for us. He was also with us. So both of them came with the report. And that was the time he unfolded everything bit by bit, that this is actually happened, but nothing to worry. We can face it together. So I acted normal actually, but I cried in night. I asked myself why it's me. I had always been kind to everyone. Then I convinced myself, and actually I realized actually why it's not me. It can be anyone. It can be anybody. It can be anybody. So I know that it is not going to be easy, but I was not ready to give up. I prepared myself and accepted God's will, and I ready for myself to embrace the situation.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So you went through, all the medications and chemo and everything. But when the doctor suggested that now you have to undergo a bone marrow transplant for what you have, did you fully understand what a bone marrow means or what it would entail? Honestly, because
Yes,
there are a lot
yes.
of people who say, okay, it must be some kind of treatment, but did you fully understand the spectrum of what a bone marrow was?
Not I didn't have much idea about it when my chemo was done, and after finishing my third cycle of chemo, my PET scan was done, and the report showed no evidence of disease anymore. But still, we are very happy. I remember that day we are actually holding each other and crying. And after that, I have to take the pending fourth cycle of chemo. And after that, doctor suggested me for the bone marrow transplantation. So I didn't have that much idea. Later, gradually, I knew about it, that it's there's always a chances to relapse. So this is a process, actually, a hope for me, for a healthy life, for a second chance to recover from all this, to reduce the chances. So at free life, healthy life. So that's how I actually knew about it. And I asked doctor, what will be the process? He said, I said, my chemo is done, not the transplantation. The doctor said, no, you're going to get chemo now and higher doses. I didn't have that much idea. Then I gradually, okay, I'm going to have more higher doses, then the stem cell collection, everything, and they'll store it, all these things. I get to know about them later.
Just before you moved into the transplant, you know, did you ever think about, because this is a question that we usually have saying, how will I look after my transplant or after my chemotherapy? How will it be to lose hair? How will it be to not
It's a
look your own self
different,
in the-
it's a
So,
different
how was
emotional
your
fight.
experience with this process? Or
I definitely, I'd love to share with this one with everyone. It's another fight. It's another fight. It's the inner fight. Every day you fight with yourself. Uh, you know, uh, I used to have beautiful hair, and I was in love with my hair. Um, so I knew I'm going to lose my hair. So in the hospital cabin after the chemo, they started falling down. I had the picture. I kept them all in my hands and I gave it to my daughter. And before I gave it to my daughter, I whispered them gently, you'll come back and I'll see you again. So that was another part. And then after seeing myself in the mirror, lots of effects, I lost myself. There are sometimes I asked in the mirror, like, who is this soul man looking at me? Seriously, I thought to stop looking at me, but later I managed my strength, courage, motivation, the love of my family. He never uh, let me feel I don't look he always supported me. How I look, that doesn't matter. I remember he um, put a bandanas and also made me wear sunglasses, and he was taking photos, and he said, you see, look, now you're looking like a fighter, you look beautiful. But the glasses actually helped me to hide my tears. I knew that how actually I was looking, but still I felt good, blessed, while he was actually trying to make me feel still I'm looking, still I look good. Uh, scars, the scars due to surgery.
yeah,
But deep inside, I knew that these scars are not going to define my beauty. So I accepted myself, the way I looked, and I decided to love myself. So
it's so beautiful to hear, from you, Shahnaz. And let me share a word of compliment for my dear sister. You are looking stunning today. Okay, so let me tell you, you're beautiful and you're looking amazing. Inshallah, this is how you will remain healthy and for your entire life. We will pray that you always look beautiful. Yeah. So just coming on back to this bone marrow transplant journey, uh, that's exactly when I remember Tanveer reaching out to me through a common friend. And I think your harvest was about to happen in a few days
yes,
from that journey. So when the first harvest didn't happen the way it was planned, what was going through in your mind? Because I'm sure, everybody must have said, कि harvest हो जाएगा तो आराम से transplant कर लेंगे and you can go back to Bangladesh in less than 3 months and stuff like
yes,
that.
yes.
But when it didn't happen, what was your state of mind and how did you react and how did you fight back?
That was also another experience and fight. Uh, First of all, I didn't know actually this could happen. So I had no idea about this one. So So when it was, it didn't happen in the first place, I was actually shattered. I had no idea actually what to do. And it was a very painful process. It took 6 hours to collect your health status from your body. You can't move. You just have to be there in the same position hours and hours. I was crying, and the people who were there present there for the process, they could also feel, but uh, we are not like exchanging emotion without saying a words. And the scenery got changed when he came in the unit. Uh, he started making me laugh in those situations, and everyone. Also, the environment got changed completely, and his presence actually worked like a magic that time.
You're now defining me as a joker.
Sometimes, no. Listen, I know I was taking the pain physically, but I know the load you're carrying inside you,
Yeah.
and making everyone else is something actually too tough. I don't think I could do that. Okay. So the thing is that I thought, okay, after all this hardship, one step had been done. But in the evening, one of the sisters came and let me know about it. I felt like I dropped from the sky. I asked everyone in the unit, whoever came to my room, if this happened to anyone or not. I was the first person. Um some actually said that they had no idea, and others, I said, they tried to actually console me, said, no, it's okay. Tomorrow we are going to take another attempt. So I was actually in that, I prepared myself ready for the next attempt with hope. And the next evening, the same process, same pain, and the same disappointment. uh, uh, So I remember one thing, I want to share one thing. When my doctor visited me, he heard about me. I was crying and said, Sir, I knew how painful everything was going to be, but still I was ready for all these things happily. But still, all the tough things were not taking a smooth path. Uh, then he said me one thing in Hindi. अगर भगवान ने भी नहीं चाहते कि इस बार हो तो हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. So I actually then I realized actually it's better to accept it, and I was.
I mean, what doctor wanted to say is like, इस बार अगर भगवान चाहता है कि नहीं होना है, जब होना है तभी होगा. It was like that.
It was like that.
Oh, it's
My
beautiful, but
Hindi
let me
is so
also,
good.
Our Hindi
let
is
me
too
also,
good.
absolutely. And let me also tell you, Shahnaz,
Yes.
during that time, okay, there were so many people praying for you
Yeah.
that the next time it had to happen. Okay, there was no way it couldn't have not happened to you the next time. There were so many prayers, there were so many people
That's
standing
true.
by you,
That's
there were
so
so
true.
many,
I accepted God's will.
yeah. So it's just beautiful that the second time I think it went through. So how has the journey been post transplant till today? If you have to really summarize in
Transplant to today.
First, after transplantation,
in between there was another difficult chapter. That's the septic shock.
I'm going to share that one.
Yeah.
Now.
That's very
That's
important part.
important.
Yeah.
So transplantation was done. I was a bit weak, but I was able to go to the washroom. My sister was there the whole time with me. Then after 21 days, the doctor suggested me to go back home. We actually rented an apartment there. So we shifted after 21 days of transplantation. We shifted back to our apartment. So gradually what's happening, I was getting sick. I couldn't explain anything, how I was feeling. Um, so I could barely eat something. I remember one night I went to the washroom and looked into the mirror, and I find my eyes yellowish, and something stuck into my mind. Something serious thing was going to happen. I didn't know why, but I felt it. Huh. He also felt something was going on, so uh, he immediately, actually that night I was again hospitalized, and actually that was the time actually I had gone through septic shock. So I was in ICU. I can remember everything, but one thing was in my mind: my husband and my daughter. Oh, I uh, I couldn't see who was with me. Sometimes I could see some uh, sisters working there. If when I saw anyone, I just uh, called them and said, "Kya?" I didn't have mobile, anything. I said, I didn't have any number. I said, "Can you please call my husband?" That was the only thing I remembered that time. And whenever I saw them again, did you make a call to my husband? Because he was not allowed to all the time. That was a ICU. There was all the patients were critical. So only one time he's allowed to visit me, and I couldn't say much. Just I cried when I just held his hand, my daughter's hand. That's the thing. I even lost my voice too for certain time, and doctor was worried. He said, "May cancer to."
The thing is, all the parameters were going up and down. All the parameters, kind of thing. I mean, from the liver function, except in the lung function, others, everything was going up and down.
Yeah. No, I remember, I think we having this conversation, and in fact,
Right.
Yes.
at some point I was thinking, happy bhag jayegi. But thankfully, happy stayed
I
by.
mean,
So for
doctor
those
kind
who
of
don't
said,
know, her nickname is Happy, and that's how I think
Yes.
she's been referred in the family and friends. So ek time pe laga tha happy bhag jayegi, but I think Tanveer's prayers and your daughter's prayers and everybody around, I think, really just pulled you back from those times. And it's just amazing to see that you are in front of us after a year exactly of what happened. And it's just so beautiful to see both of you together today. Uh, yeah, it's amazing. Wow. So how are you now? And how do you reflect on things
Oh,
that happened behind?
"Where are you now?"
uh, I want to share another part. I couldn't
Sure.
actually. I want to share this part too. After the septic shock, my body got immobilized. I could only move my hand, nothing else. I lost my voice, and I saw myself in my dream walking in the green field. I saw people walking in the corridors, in the hospital corridors, and I asked myself, how much strength was required to walk again? So how strong people are, how blessed people are. So sometimes I feel I was walking through a horrible, hideous dream. So I came back from this situation. Gradually, I was bedridden for 6 months. I had an amazing caregiver there and the support of everyone. Uh, gradually, I recovered. One day I can sit once again. Everything I learned from the beginning. I learned to sit, I learned to stand, I learned to walk, I learned to climb stairs. So definitely I'm grateful to Almighty and Allah. I found myself in pairs of many. So I feel blessed, and now I can go to outside with my family to spend some our time, coffee time. I'm not working, I'm not in my job now, but still this time I'm feeling, I'm grateful for that one. I can see my daughter, I can see my family, I can see my pets, I can see my mother, my beloved ones, everyone. So I think it's a blessing. So I'm blessed for everything now. I
Beautiful.
recovered from there.
I'm just thinking about, I think, all those things that you said, that you learn to walk again, you
It's a
learn to
rebirth. Actually,
plant
it's a rebirth.
again. No, but more than that, if you ask me, in everyday life, when we are so normal, right, we never realize the importance of thanking our body
Yes.
for being able to do everything so effortlessly and naturally. It's only when we go through a trauma like this,
Then you realize.
we realize that, wow, the hands do so much, the legs do so much, and these small things suddenly start mattering to us so much, and there's just so much beauty in then coming back and having gratitude for everything that you can do.
For everything.
Yeah.
True.
And so just before I shift gears to Tanveer, I would love for you to share your learnings during this entire process, and also what would you like to share to the world? Just if
Yes,
you were to give.
definitely. Throughout my journey, I have learned a lot of things. I've learned a lot of things. Uh,
Take your time.
um, Sometimes when I feel scared and think about the uncertainties of life
Yeah.
and what would happen next. Huh. I searched in internet. They said the survival rate is 5 years. So I got panicked. But later I actually realized, who can assure me the 5 second survival rate? No one. So actually, I stopped thinking about all those things, and I'm taking every day as a blessing. It makes me feel, it makes me more compassionate because I have seen the suffering of a lot of people. A lot of people, they're suffering. It's the hospital, staying in the hospital in 1 year. It's like a different world where everybody is moving with their beloved ones, with the papers, with the files, with the reports, wheelchairs, stretchers. So it's a different world. When I was in the wheelchair, I was thinking, apart from this world, there's another world where people go to work, people go for shopping, people go for, uh, uh, they're doing it, they want to do, they're blessed with that one. So a lot of things are happening here. How many people actually knew about it? What's happening here? Many times I actually cried for seeing the suffering of other people, kids. They're taking, that was the time for them to play in the field. That was the time for them to watch cartoon, and they are taking chemos. And I felt kindness is everywhere, humanity is everywhere. Um, there is, you can't actually, no boundaries can actually defy it. And so many people had been there who donated their uh, blood, platelets. I didn't see them all. I didn't get a chance to convey my regards, thanks to them. But he did a great job. He took photos of them, and he showed me later. He came to donate the platelets, all those things. So I'm grateful. It's a different country. It's a different country. So I'm grateful to all of them. Actually, who actually all the support actually I needed, and unconditionally they provided me. Definitely. So they all are in my prayers. And even when I have coffee outside with my family, one thing works in my mind. Somebody is in the bed, in empty bed, where I was. And without knowing them, I just pray for them. And I pray for everyone who are in pain. I'm
It's so beautiful. Yeah.
fine now, but still I can't forget about them who are still suffering. And I pray for those known and unknown and everyone who are in pain.
Wow. Wow. Any words of motivation, I think, for young people who go through this? Because I see a lot of trauma in young girls who especially go through cancer and stuff like that. So would you like to share something specifically for them, or just, like a message for, whoever is going through cancer?
I I I I share one of the experiences. I was for the PET scan, and I saw a very young girl. I guess she's uh, at this 18 or 19, and he was there. I knew that who were present there, they all came for PET scan, and I knew that what PET scan means. I I stood up and just I looked into her eyes. We didn't say anything. Just she said that she's suffering from breast cancer. I didn't say a word. I just hugged her. I held her. She also hugged me. Like it was a connection heart to heart. Without knowing the person, without saying a word, we could connect with the person, the girl. And prayed for her and everyone who are in that unit I met, who are not also there.
Wow. So it's tough to
Definitely,
realize.
yes.
Yeah. No. Go ahead, Shahnaz.
So I know that the world is very devastating, cancer. No one is ready for that. Doesn't matter how many people are there for you. Still, sometimes it's not enough. So it's a different journey, different experience, and I was not ready for that. But I had gone through the journey. I went through the journey. I faced it, I embraced it, and I came out shining. So hope should not be given up. Patience, resilience is required. Family support is required a lot. Prayers are required. So not to give up, have patience, have faith in Almighty's will. And we think we're very weak. Actually, you have to believe that you're stronger than you are. You can face it and you can come out of it. And take it as a blessing, because I told about the intensity I lost. Believe me, I got my intensity back with more compassion now. I got it back, so it's a blessing.
Yeah, that's amazing that you shared this, and it's so beautiful. And really, thank you so much for sharing, your life and your journey with us. And I'm sure it's not possible, without a beautiful partner like Tanveer. So Tanveer, really thank you for being who you are. And just for the people who are kind of, tuned in or will, listen in, there is one word that I would want to describe for Tanveer, and I think that is maverick. I don't know why that word came to me, but I think you're a maverick, hardcore romantic, musician, scholar, poet, rock star, and maybe a future Shah Rukh Khan if you look better. But but anyway,
very caring
I think, whenever I kind of look at you, I have this amazing feeling of how caring you are. Every question that you asked of me during the journey of what Shahnaz was going through and the long conversations that we had, uh, I think so much so that my wife asked me saying, "Are you having an affair with Tanveer?" And I said, "No, don't worry. This is a caring thing that we're doing." So, but just on a lighter note, but I think so many conversations, so many beautiful, amazing moments, so many tense moments also that you've handled so equanimously, so beautifully. What was caregiving like for you, Tanveer? I think I really want to understand that from your words. What was caregiving for you?
I don't know. I mean, mm, what it means. I would rather say uh, in another way,
Sure.
like what a caregiver should know.
Okay.
I'll answer it in that way
Sure.
because I mean, whoever is the caregiver, I think they care for the person for whom he or she is the caregiver. There is no doubt about it, I think, right?
Right.
But I would like to add some point, I think, which helps as a caregiver. Like, I think to know the disease a bit more, what actually has happened,
Mm.
you know, because generally the cancer thing, the treatment procedure is long
Right.
and there will be a lot of steps where I know the doctors are there, but they'll
Mhm.
ask your opinion as well, consent as well, and decision which part to take and which not to. Though they are doctors, they'll guide you, but they also requires your consent as well. So if you know the disease well, a bit more, you don't have to be a doctor, but if you study a bit more and
Mhm.
try to know the pros and cons,
Mhm.
the other alternatives of the treatment methods, it helps. I can give you some examples, like when her treatment started after the main diagnosis, biopsy.
Mhm.
So doctor called me and doctor said, see Tanveer, these are the treatment options. Uh, but main thing is I can do it, start it in a aggressive way. I can start it in a slower way. So which way uh, do you prefer?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I said, doctor, which way you do prefer? So doctor said, I'll prefer the aggressive one. But she's my wife. I have to think about it also. Should I go with the doctor is suggesting? But even though the concerns are there, aggressive way, how much aggressive it could be? What's the difference between? And the
Mhm.
doctor make me understand. And actually, from the starting of the diagnosis, I already started reading about the disease and the
Mhm.
treatment and every alternative.
Yeah.
Basically, the cancer thing is not new to our family. Already, two cases were there. My mother had colon cancer. Even in
Mhm.
2018, my younger brother's wife also had that.
Mhm.
So we already had some background of studying these things. So, uh, I also wanted to talk to some doctor friends also and
Mhm.
to know which path should I agree also.
Mhm.
And then when you know the things, the outcome, and I found out it's better to approach in an aggressive way because of the pattern of the disease.
Right.
Okay, it will be a bit more painful for her, but it will be more, useful and effective for her.
Sure.
So knowing that, it helps. Like
Sure.
in the second scenario, I want to give you another example.
Mhm.
When the harvest failed,
Yeah.
you know, the doctor who always wanted to do the bone marrow transplant, he he called me and he said, Tanvi, uh, we have tried once. Should we now not try it again and go for the radiation? The
Mhm.
doctor asked me, but
Wow.
by but I knew this is the first line of treatment, more curative attempt than the radiation.
Yes.
So this, because this I know, not because just because of I studied this thing.
Mhm.
So I knew another attempt can be taken. So I
Okay.
discussed with the doctor,
Mhm.
uh, can we take another attempt? Because I know the cell can be kept frozen for about an year.
Yeah.
So if we try after 1 or 2 months another attempt and enough cell is collected, so we can go for it because it's a curative attempt. So ultimately, doctor agreed, and we tried
Mm.
for the second one, and it did happen. So
Right.
that's why I said knowing the disease and the options is good, because when this whole procedure finished, and while we were coming back to Bangladesh after that,
Mm.
doctor called me, and one thing he said, Tanveer, I won't take any credit of this transplant. I give it to you. I didn't want to do it, but you are the one who studied and pushed and took the risk. So I think I'm not taking the credits, because there are a lot of times things doesn't happen, your luck and everything. But
Mm.
what I believe, luck is not in your hand.
Right.
Other elements are not in your hand. But
Mhm.
what you can do, that is in your hand.
Right.
So make best use of it. Try to know the things and give the best out of it. So that's the thing I think being a caregiver, one should know. And it's the only not on the treatment side. When you understand the disease thing and the treatment effect and other thing, you also
Yeah.
understand the patient's psychology and mental status. You
Yeah.
react in that way. Like she now calls me a joker. I
I don't.
I had to, because I know positive mindset, happy mindset will keep her mood uplifted and
Yeah.
motivate her to fight more. A
Yeah.
depressed person cannot fight. So this is another aspect. Another thing is the other logistic, because you are
Mm.
outside the country.
Yeah.
You have to, even if you are in the country somewhere far, you have to arrange the living place,
Mhm.
hiring an apartment, and
Mm.
other financial things,
Yeah.
fooding, everything. So you can, when you know the phase wise things,
Yeah.
it becomes easier to plan it accordingly.
Correct.
you know
But just
so
on
as
an
if yeah,
like
please.
just on another note, Tanveer, I think one thing is to take care of the patient. But there was so much going in your heart and your mind in terms of where did you find equanimity? How did you manage that peace, patience, calmness to wade through this process and still be able to take decisions which are critical, important, yet you have to take it very, very tactfully. So, how did you manage yourself as an individual? I think because that's where
Yeah.
most givers fail to do is that they completely given themselves so much that there is a caregiving fatigue. Okay. So, we
Okay.
often ask these questions to caregivers saying, how do you take care of yourself?
Okay. I'll say 2 3 points.
Sure.
Like, number one, as it was not the first case, I was young when my mother had colon cancer, and I had to. I've been a caregiver there as well, and for a long period of time. So एक strength तो आ जाता है वहां से, I mean experience आता है. But
बिल्कुल.
trust me, जितना भी आपको experience है ना, you never get used to it. Every new case with the family person, dear ones, you are panicked again. You are in the same insecurities, same thing happens. You are never. But one thing I remember when this thing started,
Mhm.
she used to say, in our holy book, one word is uttered many times, maximum time you can say, that is called patience.
Uh-huh.
I kept that thing in mind.
Mhm.
This one thing, and I took one step at a time. And definitely, being introduced to you helped me a lot, brother.
Mhm.
Lot. Whenever things got out of hand, or things were really crucial and critical, I used to call you. And and I can thank you, Anna, the way
No,
you
I
have
think it's just
supported
an honor,
me.
honestly.
It showed us hope.
Hope. It showed really hope and made me calm, and giving, you were, motivating me. This also played a really big role, I must say.
Right.
And somehow, as our family history is like that, there were a lot of medical issues. So वो face करते करते ना, I think we have developed a certain amount of strength also. So सब मिला के, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
that's the
beautiful.
thing. But it's always tough.
Yeah.
Seeing
No,
your dear ones suffering like this, their
man.
life in a balance, that doctor calls you and say, Tanvir, get ready. Another 48 years, 48 hours, anything can happen. And
Yeah.
it happens several times. Even
Correct.
doctor said, मैं तो कैंसर हैंडल कर लूंगा, ये septic shock, I don't know. I am really panicked. If doctors say he's panicked, you just think about the caregiver, what he'll say, where he'll go.
I agree.
तो रखना पड़ता है, I don't know, because maybe
Yeah.
I had no choice but to be strong.
No, but that's amazing. And I remember you always kept motivating her, singing to her, maybe reading out poetry, and in such beautiful and sensitive ways. That is, I think it was a learning for. It will be a learning, I think, for a lot of people to wade through this beautiful caregiving journey. And I think the journey that both of you, have kind of gone through. And just before we kind of really come to the end of the call, I'd like to ask you, Tanvir,
Yeah.
if there is something that you want to share to the world, uh, as this entire experience that has happened with the two of you, what would that be?
Okay. See, I'll say it in a different way. Like one day, recent times, she loves to watch those, pets videos, dogs, and other
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So she showed me one thing. One lady saying that, see, these dogs, generally dogs live for 10 to 12 years. So the lady was saying, uh, see, these pets come to your life for 10 to 12 summer only. Okay. So please be kind to them, love them. They won't live as much as you do. So only for 10 to 12 summers.
Yeah.
So I have 3 pets. So I was feeling a bit sad thinking because I love them. I love them. So I came back to my room and suddenly I thought, now I am 50. Already 50 summers have left. I mean, already gone. And if you consider it an average thing, if I live that much, then only 20 summers left. Even maybe not the next summer. So life is so uncertain. So try to live the fullest every day. You don't know whether you'll get the next summer or not. Be loving to yourself, also to your dear ones, to everyone. Every day is precious. You might not get it, get another chance. And tomorrow is not promised. So value that. Take every day as a bonus. And whenever any obstacle comes, have faith in the divine power as well. You can wish for good luck, but one thing you have in your hand is to give your best. Try to give the best to it. Even if the result is different, at least you will have the consolation to yourself that I have tried my best. Not always luck clicks, but you must give it your
Correct.
best.
Yeah. Sure.
And live and take every day as a bonus. Enjoy it. It's a
That
one
is
life.
so beautiful. That is so beautiful, Tanvir. Thank you so much for sharing this. I think this is really what the world should hear more often. Is that there are very few summers left, and you don't know if you're going to see the next summer. And we have already seen this in the COVID times of how many people didn't make it to the next summer. So, I think uh, it's just awesome in terms of how you've lived your life, how you lived through this entire thing. And, just for the audience, before we close this session formally, uh, you know, it's just so amazing to see, how say Tanvir has lived his life so beautifully. And he's lived it with so much passion, that his passion for life, his passion for music, his passion for people, it just shines so brightly and kind of lightens up so many other people's lives. So I would like to leave all of you with this beautiful rock star music that has been developed in the days when he was studying in IIT Delhi. and how his music, where they created this kind of group, and they really created this video. So yeah, with that I want to leave you on a very, very happy note. We will go through the entire video, and then we will open it up in case if there is any sharing or something from all of you. Yeah, so let's just go through this beautiful video that's that he has, I think, created. And let me just bring it up for you in 1 second. Yeah.
And before leaving, we'd like to thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for giving
Thank you
us
so
the
much for
opportunity
everything.
to share our journey. And I don't know who will watch, but we pray for everyone, and we
You
ask
are in
for
our prayers.
please keep us in your prayers.
Sure. Thank you. And let's now tune into the beautiful rock star music that you created. Yeah. I think it'd be an absolute delight for people to see.
সাদা কালো ইউনিফর্ম বলে তারে আটকা ঘুরি পকেটে পয়সা কম বাসের হাতল ধরে ঝুলে ঝুলে যাওয়া যেন জিন্দাবাদের ভূত কলেজ বাঙের ধোয়া উঠলে পরেই থিয়েটারের রুট সবুজ মাঠের দুর্বা ঘাসে বল ঢেলে দিন পার 22 গজের ঘামে ছড়িয়ে দিয়েছি কত চন্ডিলারা ওয়াকার সময়ের কাছে পাওনা খাতায় মুঠোয় মুঠোয় ঋণ আলোর মিছিলে তাই মুক্তির দাবি একটা রোদেলা দিন যদি পেতাম ফিরে সেই রোদেলা দিন যদি পেতাম ফিরে একটা রোদেলা দিন যদি পেতাম ফিরে সেই রোদেলা দিন যদি পেতাম ফিরে একটা রোদেলা দিন
Yeah, so thank you. While the music is going on, I think thank you so much. This has been an awesome conversation, and we really love to have the two of you on our show.